Hello beauty babes, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to film this video because look at my background. It is my first Valentine's Day video here on YouTube. I am so excited to film this and I love the way this look came out, and it is just very beautiful, very easy. And I used the Naked 3 palette right here for all the colors except for one single eyeshadow right here from L'Oreal Infallible. If you'd love to achieve this look and see if you could recreate it, go ahead and just keep watching. So I did my brows off camera so I would save a little bit of time, and I already carved them out with concealer, and then I set them with powder, and then I just went ahead and set my eyelids with some loose powder so they'll be ready to put the eyeshadow on. And I'm actually going to take my Morphe M518. It looks like this. I'm going to go into the color Limit right here. I'm going to tap that excess off, and I'm just going to work that into my crease. Now I'm going to go in with this color right here. It's called Nooner, and I'm just going to build that up as well with the same brush. So now I'm going to be taking this Morphe M506, and it's very dense. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually take the color Mugshot and Factory together. I'm going to just dip into both and put that into my crease. Well, not in my crease, but kind of like below the crease. Take this brush again, the first brush that I used. I'm just going to blend that all together. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the crease. This is going to be like a cut crease look. I'll be taking the Morphe M421 brush right here to cut my crease. I actually use this brush to carve out my eyebrows as well. And I'll be taking my Born This Way sculpting concealer in the color Vanilla. So I'm taking a decent amount of that concealer onto my brush, and I'm going to be using it to cut the crease. I zoomed out in so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just dabbing in the product onto my lid, and I'm actually going to take it a little lower than my actual crease. I want it to be like a lower cut crease. And I'm just spreading this out, mostly dabbing it in. And I do get more product if I need to. I'm going to start winging the wing out, and I'm doing it as gentle and precise as I can with the brush. I'm trying to do my best right now so that I don't mess up my eyeshadow. I'm just going to be gently dabbing it in, filling in the places that I don't have the product, and I'm kind of messy about it. I do apologize, I am pretty messy. Okay, so I'm going to be going in with the palette, and I'll be taking the color Trick and the color Dust right here. So this one and this one, I'll be mixing it and putting it on the lid. I'm going to be taking my Real Technique flathead brush like this and just mixing it in with these two colors and pressing it down. And then I'm actually going to be taking a smaller flat-headed brush from Real Techniques to get my wing. So now I'm going to be taking the M506 from Morphe to blend out my crease. As you can see, I did get some transfer from the cut crease into my actual crease where I didn't want it to be. So now I'm just blending that out. So I'm going to actually take those two colors again and use a spray to just enhance the colors. That's so much better. Okay, and I'll be doing that for the other side as well. Okay, and I'll be taking the color Mugshot again, just this color, and I'm just going to be taking that in with a dense Morphe brush just to clean up in the crease area to whatever transferred from the lid. The step that I'm about to do, you're definitely not required to do it, but it'll make the look more beautiful. And I'm going to be taking the single eyeshadow from L'Oreal Infallible, and it looks like this, and it is called the color Amber Rush, and it is just the most beautiful rose gold I've ever seen. And I'm just going to swatch it for you guys real quick. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So I'm going to be taking this and just putting it on the eyelid, and then I'm actually going to spray it down. Right here, I'm just going to be pressing in the eyeshadow with my finger to give it a flawless look. I'm just going to curl my lashes just to prep them for putting on the falsies. Then I'm just going to dust away the fallout with a big brush. I'll be using the Baby Skin primer. I'll be working that into the skin just to fill all the pores because we want a flawless look today and we want everything to be covered up. So the next step into prepping my skin for foundation is the MAC Strobe Cream, and it is the color Pink Light. I'm just going to be applying this to the high points in my face just to give my skin a little bit of a glow. Hopefully it shows up after my foundation. I'm just working that into the skin and just blending it out smoothly with my fingers. Now I'll be going in with my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I am in the shade Y375 and I love this foundation. I've never tried a stick foundation and I am absolutely loving this foundation. It is full coverage and easy to work with. It's very creamy. I use my e.l.f. stippling brush to just work that into the skin, and then after I go in with my beauty blender to buff out all of the streaks left over from the brush. Concealer, I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way in Vanilla, and I'm just putting that under my under eye just to cover any darkness and just to brighten up my face. After I've placed my concealer where I want it, I go in with my beauty blender from Real Techniques and I just blend it out with a flat face. Going with more concealer just to be sure that I got the extra coverage that I need. To set and bake my under eye, I'll be using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Fair Light, and I'm just going to be distributing that with my beauty blender on the flathead side. And I'm just taking a decent amount and just layering it on there. Now to set the rest of my face, I'll be using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Medium. And I'm just going to be using a big Morphe brush, the R2, just to set that into the face and just blend it all in. I'm a big fan of these loose finishing powders because they give me the most flawless look after it is on. It's like a airbrush face look, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. Next, I'll be dipping into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit from I Use Light to Medium. And I'll be starting with my nose contour, and I'll be using the e.l.f. contour brush. And I go in with the color Fawn. And if you are one who is unfamiliar with contouring the nose, I do have a video dedicated directly to contouring the nose, and I go into great detail into how to do it. It is about a 7-minute video, so it's very easy. I'm going to slightly blend that out with my Beauty Blender, just so it's not such a harsh contour on my nose. I want it to be as subtle as possible. Next, I will be contouring and carving out my cheeks area, and I'm using a very old brush from e.l.f. It's the bronzing brush, and I'm just using the color Fawn and Havana mixed together. Next, I'll be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Deep Bronzer right on top of that contour. And I'm going to be using that same brush to break that into the skin. And I love this bronzer. It gives me such a glow and it smells amazing. If you have not tried it, you need to try it. I also take it down on my neck just to kind of like blend it in, make it look transitioned in a way, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm just using like a flathead brush to do that. So now I'll be dipping back into that Maybelline loose finishing powder in the shade Fair Light, and I'll be using my Beauty Blender to apply that onto or below my contour line just to clean it up and make it look sharp and just to brighten it up down there as well. So now I'm going to transition back into the eyes, and I'll be using the Maybelline New York Total Temptation mascara in Very Black, and I love this mascara. I have a mini one just because I got it in a little set. I will definitely repurchase this, and I highly recommend this mascara. It is amazing, and I am very pleased with how it applies and the finishing look on it. I will be applying Ardell Fox Mink in the number 810 off camera because I am not a pro yet. So now I'll be going back into the palette, and I'm going to be using the color Black Heart. It is the last color. It is very sparkly and dark, and it's very beautiful. And I'm going to be using that for my lower lash line, and I'm just going to be smoking it out with a flat head brush. Next, I'll be highlighting the inner corner of my eyes as well as my brow bone, and I'll be using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter Powder in the color Blossom Glow. Using an e.l.f. lip defining brush to highlight. I actually use this all the time just to highlight because I love how precise it is and it gets where I want it to go. I love doing this technique because it just makes the eyes stand out and it just draws the attention to the eye, honestly. And then I also just take it into the lower inner corner of the eye, and I always have to do the brow bone. For blush, I'm going to be using Tarte Amazonian Clay in the shade Party with 3 A's. I use the angled blush brush from Morphe, the R4. For highlight, I'll be using the Morphe R31 as the brush, and I'll be using the Wet n Wild Blossom Glow as well for the nose and my high points. I'll be using the Mary Luminizer highlight from the Balm Cosmetics, and I'll just be putting that on top of the Wet n Wild highlight. Now that I'm done with those steps, I'll be going with my Morphe Continuous Spray just to set it all in. And lastly, for the lip, I'll be using the Megalast Liquid Catsuit shade in Nudiest Peach, and it's from Wet n Wild, and I am absolutely loving these lippies. They are just amazing, and I love this color. For this look, it is, of course, like a nude peach. Very perfect for this look.